Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Jurrac Yugioh deck profile for post Battles of Legends Monster Mayhem. I never thought for the longest time we would actually get new Jurrac support. In the latest Yu-Gi-Oh booster set, I was proven wrong. It's been over 10 years since we've last gotten Jurrac support, but because of it we have gotten new monsters to help utilize the Jurrac playstyle of destruction of different cards on the field, including being able to destroy our own Jurrac monsters for added special summon, which does work well with some of the other dinosaur monsters we run in the deck to be able to make full use of with those monsters. So along with the new extra deck options and the new main deck monsters, and finally a new Jurrac spell, definitely happy for what we can do with this dinosaur deck. So before we go ahead, I wanted to say it's just a pure Jurrac build with some of the extra dino monsters. Wanted to focus as mostly on the Jurrac monsters as I could. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the Jurrac monsters, we're running 3 copies of Jurrac Stego. During the main phase, you can destroy 1 card you control, and then send 1 dinosaur monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then you can special summon 1 Jurrac monsters from your hand and or deck, except for Jurrac Stego, whose total levels equal the sent monsters levels, ignoring their summoning conditions. And also for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon except for dinosaur monsters. You can only use this effect of Stego once per turn, and when this card is destroyed by battle, you can return 1 face-up card on the field to the hand. So the bounce power is one thing, but just being able to use this card to send a dinosaur monster from your deck to the graveyard gives you more special summon resources for other cards as long as those levels are equal to the same, and that's why we're running some specific Jurrac monsters to make sure those levels also equal out. We're also running 3 copies of Jurrac Megalo. If you control a dinosaur monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. During the main phase, you can discard 2 cards, including a Jurrac card, draw 2 cards, and if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send 1 Jurrac monster from your deck or extract to the graveyard, except for Megalo. So giving you more of that setup, but also just being able to have more of that send power for the graveyard buildup for our Jurrac monsters. It also works well as just the 1 card combo with Jurrac Stego and Megalo being able to make use of that summon on the field. For the other Jurracs, because like I said, I wanted to focus heavily on the Jurrac monsters, 3 copies of Jurrac Guaiba. With this card, when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon 1 Jurrac monster with 1700 or less attack from your deck, but it cannot declare an attack this turn. So just being able to grab those additional resources onto the field can help us go into our link or synchro plays, depending on what we want to use on the field at that moment. And then some of the lower number Jurrac monsters include the 2 copies of Jurrac Alo. You can tribute this card, target 1 level 4 or lower Jurrac monster in your graveyard except for Jurrac Alo, and special summon it. So just being able to grab back resources from the graveyard as well for us to use is why Alo definitely does come in handy, just to then use some of the bigger Jurrac monsters and having answers to then summon back cards like Stego as well for these plays. And then the 1 copy of Jurrac Terra and the 1 copy of Jurrac Velo. Terra has a bounce card effect, but it's mostly used to have a level 3 to use with our level 1 option for the destruction send play of Jurrac Stego, and Velo having another special summon option when it's destroyed in attack position also. For the additional dinosaur monsters, 3 copies of Soul Eating Oviraptor. It has the send option or add option when it's normal or special summon to take a dinosaur monster from our deck, either add to our hand or send it to the graveyard. So then setting up more cards for us to make use of with the engine, with some of those other pure dinosaur engines being the 1 copy of Miscellaneousaurus and then the 2 copies of Baby Ceresaurus, having the destruction special summon option when Baby Ceresaurus is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard. And then Miscellaneousaurus being one of the better cards to send off of our Jurrac Stego, to then have the option during the main phase to destroy 1 card you control, send 1 dinosaur monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then special summon Jurrac monsters from your hand or deck except for Jurrac Stego, whose total levels equal the sent monster's level, ignoring their summoning conditions. So then with this card, we can send Miscellaneousaurus and then grab our level 1 and level 3 monsters because of it also. And then for the rest of the main deck monsters, I would like to test 1 Blaster as just a destruction option of our opponent's cards while setting up some other dinos in our graveyard. And the 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, just a small hand trap lineup in the form of Ash Blossom and Infinite Impermanence in the deck. Not too big, just so we can have bigger focus on the Jurrac monsters to use for the engine, but still have cards to be able to use against our opponent if we do go second against them. For the spells, 3 copies of Jurrac Volcano. During the main phase, you can destroy 1 dinosaur monster you control, and if you do, special summon 1 Jurrac monster from your deck. If your opponent special summons a monster and they have activated 4 or more monster effects this turn, except during the damage step, you can special summon 1 Jurrac Meteor from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon, and if a Jurrac monster you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish 1 dinosaur monster from your graveyard instead. So adding protection for your own Jurrac cards, because then you have the option for, if your Jurrac monsters would be destroyed by card effect, being able to banish that monster can protect some of your other cards, including keeping your Meteor on the field safe as well. I'm also running the 3 copies of Fossil Dig. I have 1 placeholder being the Salmon Great Charge, because I don't know where I put my 3rd copy of Fossil Dig, but just a searcher for the dinosaurs that we run for the majority of the deck, with our other spells being 1 Call by the Grave, 2 copies of Forbidden Droplet, the 1 Triple Tactics Talent, the 1 Foolish Burial, and the 1 Crossout Designator. A pretty generic spell lineup, but we only really have the Fossil Dyna and the Jurrac Volcano to go for with the other spells to work with the Jurrac deck. For the traps, 2 copies of Jurrac Impact. If you control a dinosaur with 2,500 or more attack, destroy all cards on the field, which can easily be done with the Jurrac Synchros that we run, just being able to then have a destruction option for all the other cards on the field. And lastly, the 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, just a generic hand trap spot, along with the Ash Blossom to be able to use in the deck. For the extra deck, we're running 3 copies of the new boss monster, Jurrac Astero. With this card, if it's synchro summon, you can set 1 Jurrac spell or trap from your deck to your field. So with this card being able to basically use the added setup, we can either set up our Jurrac Impact, as mentioned before, or the new field spell. And once per turn, when your opponent would special summon a monster, quick effect, you can banish 2 dinosaur monsters from your graveyard, negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monsters. And during your opponent's turn quick effect, you can banish 2 Jurrac monsters from your graveyard, including this card, to special summon 1 Jurrac Meteor from your extra deck and treat it as a synchro summon. So just this option with your Jurrac monsters is another reason why you want to set up a good number of them in the graveyard, because then you have those monsters to use to set up our next bigger boss monster, which is Jurrac Meteor, which we're also running 3 copies of. Max number of copies, just because there's so many different cards in this deck, whether it be Jurrac Astero or our field spell, Jurrac Volcano, that can just summon out Jurrac Meteor. So we don't even have to properly summon this card. We can just rely on the other cards in the deck to summon it out for us. I also run the 1 Jurrac Yugioh and the 1 Jurrac Velveto. This card's attack and defense become equal to the total original attack of the materials used for its synchro summon. And at the start of damage step, if it attacks a face down defense monster, you can destroy that defense monster. And then Yugioh, Jurrac monster you control, gain 2 attack for each Jurrac monster in your graveyard. So the more you set up, the stronger your other Jurrac monsters will also get. So stronger and stronger on the field for those resources. And for the fact that we run level 4 dinosaurs, 1 Logia and 1 Dolka for some of the Xyz plays, with our link monsters being the Fire Engine, so 1 Heat of the Fire Charmer, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Sunlight Wolf for the recycle power of cards like Ash Blossom or other fire monsters, 1 Promethean Princess, and then the 1 Raging Phoenix for a link 4 option to be able to go into, and then 1 to special summon on the field when our cards, being the fire monsters on the field, are also destroyed. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, as I mentioned before, Stego definitely does help with setting up some pretty fun plays to be able to make use of. We also have the Megalo special summon, but let's say you just have the Stego, so being able to summon this card out, destroy 1 card you control, so you can destroy Stego itself. So you destroy Stego, and then send 1 dinosaur monster from your deck to the graveyard. So with this, you can send your Miscellaneousaurus being a level 4, then use the effect to special summon from your hand and or deck, except Jurrac Stego, whose total level is equal to set monster's level, ignoring their summoning conditions. So then, with this play, you can set up and special summon. You need to special summon Jurrac monsters, don't forget. So with those, you can go for your level 1 plays, being Aolo, and then the level 3 monster option being our Jurrac Stego for the level 3. So summoning out these 2 monsters can then give you the setup you need. We have those 2. You also have the banish option with Miscellaneousaurus and Stego, but if you want to first, you can go for the tribute of Aeolo to then target a level 4 lower Jurrac in your graveyard, so then you can use it to summon back Stego. And then from there, go for the added banish, if you wish, of Miscellaneousaurus, banishing this card for the summon of our Jurrac Megalo onto the field as well. And then being able to discard 2 cards, including a Jurrac card, to draw 2, or if this card's destroyed by battle or card effect, send a Jurrac monster from your deck or extract to the graveyard, except for Megalo. So this could be an added option, but from here, you've set up the different monster lineup as well, having the 1 tuner for a potential summon from your extract, depending on the monsters you want to go for. So you could go for your level 5 synchro play using these 2 monsters for the level option of summoning out your Velfido to the field, or you could go for the added setup with your other dinosaur monsters, depending on the play you want to go for. If you have the initial summon of your Stego and the Jurrac Megalo as the special summon, since you control a dinosaur monster, you can then use the same destruction effect of Stego, but instead on your Megalo for the send and special summon setup of your 2 monsters, and then being able to use the effect of Megalo to send 1 additional Jurrac monster from your deck or extract to the graveyard. So then from there, you can send another Jurrac monster for that added setup for what can be special summoned back onto the field off of the same Aeolo if you wish, or if not, you have your monsters ready to then be used with Miscellaneousaurus, being able to use the effect of this card and go for the banish for your monsters from your graveyard, so you can banish it and 1 additional monster, giving you a level 2 summon from the deck onto the field, which can then be your baby Ceratosaurus, and then having the initial summon as well, needing the non-tuner dinosaur monsters for your Jurrac being the total of level 10, using all of these monsters on the field to summon out this bigger boss monster. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, it was very awesome. We finally got new Jurrac support. It's been so long, but definitely due for the deck. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Twig out.